last week we talked specifically about Nick Chubb and whether he earned an extension or not. But it kind of got me thinking, because yesterday there was another player who's going to be eligible to get paid a lot of money this offseason, probably will get paid a lot of money in this offseason, and Denzel Ward, who's going to be extension eligible. And the Browns have a handful of guys kind of coming up. Now, there's only one guy, I believe. I got to check on somebody else. There's only one guy who's headed for free agency, and that's Larry Ogunjobi. I wanted to put on our GM hats and kind of order this. If you could do it ideally, who would you pay first? Who would you pay second? Who would you wait on? We don't have to extend these guys. If we look at them and say, I don't know if I want to extend that guy. So here's the list I came up with, and I'm just looking at kind of first-time extensions. I'm not looking at guys who might, like a guy like a JC Treader who could ask for a second extension or something. I'm asking for Nick Chubb. This is alphabetical order. Ronnie Harrison, Baker Mayfield, Larry Ogunjobi, that's the free agent, Wyatt Teller, and Denzel Ward. So kind of put these guys in order of priority to pay them this off season. I mean, my number one is pretty easy. I'm going to guess we might all be the same on this, but I want to hear what you guys have to say first.
You want me to just give you my number one?
Give us your number one. I just want to know if it's the same as the guy I'm thinking.
You know what? In that scenario, I'm going Denzel Ward, number one.
Doug, are you thinking the same thing?
No.
Okay. I like it.
I'm going Nick Chubb because I think the Browns are breaking the mold on what a two-headed running back situation does for a football team. I think in a world where all anybody has talked about analytically for the last several years is that running backs are replaceable, running backs aren't worth it. I think Nick Chubb's absence the last month proved how valuable he is. I think if any of us, and I did think it, I thought maybe you were in an either or situation with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb at some point, that this was a luxury. I think this is a luxury that has become a necessity. The Browns aren't the Browns if they don't have two all-pro running backs. And Hunt and Chubb make each other better. And only paying one and only having one reduces that value of the one you have. They have found something here. It is who they are. And as valuable as a number one cornerback is in Denzel Ward, I just think a world where something happens and you don't have Nick Chubb and you get some other kind of guy behind him, instead of him, who's pretty okay. And now you have Hunt and that pretty okay guy as the two-headed monster. I think it changes them. I think it fundamentally alters the DNA of this football team. I think Chubb and Hunt, if you could only keep two players, well, Miles is one.
But Miles is done.
So Miles is out of the way. I mean, I'd have 52 sports writers and Myles Garrett and take my chances if that was my 53. I just think Chubb and Hunt is where it's at. It's who they are. And I just think even if it's what nobody else is doing exactly, and there are running backs who got big contracts, I think Nick Chubb is it, man.
So mine is Ward. Just because I guess I'm basing this on positional importance, right? This is sort of what you were talking about. You're going against that, Doug. I guess I'm basing mine on more, okay, you took care of Miles. Next up is Denzel Ward. And I think that's a no-brainer. You're going to pay Denzel Ward. I mean, Doug, I think even you would have Denzel Ward pretty high on your list, maybe even second.
For sure.
But, the case for Chubb, and this kind of affects the guy that's going to be on this list for us at some point, is, what do you think of Baker Mayfield? If you think Baker Mayfield is going to turn into a $40 million a year quarterback that's going to be on the level of the guys that are getting paid like that, well, then that running back becomes more replaceable. But if you think you need to hold that structure together around Baker, then Nick Chubb becomes really important in that equation. So, honestly, what they do with Nick Chubb might tell us a lot about how they feel about Baker, to be honest. So that's maybe part of the thinking why you might flip those two. But I would go Ward 1 and then probably on this list, Chubb 2. I know there's a little debate going on Twitter today about paying running backs. And there's an acknowledgement with running backs. I made this point last week. When you pay a running back, it's like buying a car. It's not going to get more valuable, right? This isn't like Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is like buying a house. He's going to get better. And he's going to be, we've already seen it. a running back loses his value over time, but that's okay because you're going to be paying for Nick Chubb's prime years, and I'm fine with that. So I would have him second on my list.
I'm going to go with him second on my list too. And the reason why I put him second behind Denzel is because for some of the reasons that you're mentioning there, Dan, I think it does come down to what you think of your quarterback and where this whole thing is going. If you really believe in your quarterback and you think you're going to have a really, really great passing game, I mean, one of the reasons they need the two-headed monster is because they don't really have a whole lot going on with their passing game to this point. Some of it has been weather recently, but lately they have really just decided, you know what, we're going to be a run-oriented team. In that scenario, then, maybe you're not giving Baker the $40 million or the $35 million or the going rate for the number one overall picks these days. But also, I think that the two-headed monster of Nick and Kareem, it's phenomenal. It's terrific. I would pay Nick, but I also think that that you could find another two-headed monster.
Oh,
I think hear me out.
really?
Yes, I think that it might not be Nick and Kareem, but it's certainly not Kareem and Dearness Johnson. Okay, it's not that. But there is a world out there in which you could probably find another really excellent running back to run behind a really, really, really good offensive line that makes a great 1-2 punch with Kareem, and those two guys together from an economic standpoint wouldn't cost you as much as what these two guys are going to cost you.